She was quiet for a moment, and then she walked right up to the glass and leaned her forehead against it. I hung back, but then she grabbed my t-shirt and pulled me forward. I didn't want our collective weight against a single pane of glass, but she kept pulling me forward, and I could feel her balled fist in my side. And finally, I put my head against the glass as gently as possible and looked around. From above, Orlando was pretty well lit. Beneath us, I could see the flashing "Don't Walk" signs at intersections, and the streetlights running up and down the city in a perfect grid until downtown ended, and the winding streets and cul-de-sacs of Orlando's infinite suburbs started. "It's beautiful," I said. Margot scoffed. "Really? You seriously think so?" "I mean, well, maybe not," I said, although it was. When I saw Orlando from an airplane, it looked like a Lego set sunk into an ocean of green. Here, at night, it looked like a real place, but for the first time, a place I could see. As I walked around the conference room, and then through the other offices on the floor, I could see it all. There was school. There was Jefferson Park. There, the 7-Eleven where Margot painted her nails and I fought for breath. It was all here, my whole world, and I could see it just by walking around a building. "It's more impressive," I said out loud. "From a distance, I mean. You can't see the wear on things, you know. You can't see the rust, or the weeds, or the paint cracking. You see the place as someone once imagined it." "Everything's uglier close up," she said. "Not you," I answered, before thinking better of it. Her forehead still against the glass, she turned to me and smiled. "Here's a tip. You're cute when you're confident, unless when you're not." Before I had a chance to say anything, her eyes went back to the view, and she started talking. "Here's what's not beautiful about it. From here, you can't see the rust or the cracked paint or whatever, but you can tell what the place really is. You see how fake it all is. It's not even hard enough to be made out of plastic. It's a paper town. I mean, look at it, Q. Look at all those cul-de-sacs, those streets that turn in on themselves, all the houses that were built to fall apart, all those paper people living in their paper houses, burning the future to stay warm, all the paper kids drinking beer some bum bought for them at the paper convenience store. Everyone demented, with the mania of owning things, all the things paper thin and paper frail. And all the people, too. I've lived here for 18 years, and I have never, once in my life, come across anyone who cares about anything that matters." "I'll try not to take that personally," I said. We were both staring into the inky distance, the cul-de-sacs and quarter-acre lots. But her shoulder was against my arm, and the backs of our hands were touching, and although I was not looking at Margot, pressing myself against the glass felt almost like pressing myself against her. "Sorry," she said. "Maybe things would have been different for me if I had been hanging out with you the whole time instead of, just God, I hate myself so much for even caring about my, quote, friends. I mean, just so you know, it's not that I am oh so upset about Jason, or Becca, or even Lacey, although I actually liked her. But it was the last string. It was a lame string for sure, but it was the one I had left. And every paper girl needs at least one string, right? And here's what I said. I said, 'You would be welcome at our lunch table tomorrow.'" "That's sweet," she answered, her voice trailing off. She turned to me and nodded softly. I smiled. She smiled. I believed the smile. We walked to the stairs and then ran down them. At the bottom of each flight, I jumped off the bottom step and clicked my heels to make her laugh. And she laughed. I thought I was cheering her up. I thought she was cheerable. I thought maybe, if I could be confident, something might happen between us. I was wrong. DFTBA, Rob. I'll see you Monday.